Hi guys, my name is Jeannie. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a review on the Danessa Myrick's Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. So this is in the color 19G. This is supposed to be a very glowy, skin-like, hydrating foundation. If you guys are interested in seeing my thoughts about this foundation, then keep on watching. But before we do that, please like and subscribe. And when the video is over, comment down below and let me know what you thought about the foundation and if you're gonna be picking it up or passing on this collection. And with that being said, let's hop right into the video. Oh, before we get started, I don't think I went over the shade ranges. I am a 420 in the Fenty foundation, and I bought this foundation online, so I didn't test it out in the store. There's probably like 2 or 3 shades that probably could go well with my complexion, and I want to go over this because when I put 420 Fenty in the shade finder, it didn't come back with a match. It said there was no match, so I basically just had to read the descriptions and hope that I got the right shade. So basically, I feel like 18G and 19G could be good fits for someone who's 420 like me. So 18G is described as dark skin with golden undertones, and then the next color down is 19G, and that's dark skin with golden olive undertones. I don't really know why I chose that one. I guess I thought that it would be a little bit deeper, so I went with that one, but I don't think I have olive undertones. I probably could have just went with 18G, but 19G wasn't a bad match for me either. So if you guys are anywhere around my complexion, I would say try those 2 shades out first. Okay, now let's get into the review. Okay guys, so I wanna hop right into the review. So I have the Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. I have the shade 19G. I wanna read a little bit about the foundation. It says it's a skincare hybrid foundation with a medium buildable coverage that effortlessly creates a natural skin-like glow. That sounds nice. Okay, the coverage is medium, the finish is radiant, and the formulation is liquid. So, and judging by the fact that it's a serum foundation, I feel like it's definitely in the lane with the Your Skin But Better foundation trend that has been going on lately. So I'm kind of excited to try that. Plus, I've never tried a Danessa Myrick's foundation before, and I just want to. I don't know, I'm excited about it. It has jojoba oil. I don't know if I want any of my foundations to actually have oil in them though. So I'm definitely going to be using a matte primer. It has jojoba oil to intensely moisturize and soften the skin. It has hyaluronic acid that plumps the look of lines and wrinkles. And it has olive derived squalene that's known to balance oil production and diminish visible signs of aging. So, I guess that there's some oil in there, but then there's also the squalene that's supposed to help balance oil production. So maybe it won't be that terrible for oily skin girls like me. I guess we'll find out. The middle part is also supposed to be refillable. So this part is supposed to be able to come out, and you're supposed to be able to just like interchange it when it's finished, which is cool because, you know, it's a little bit more sustainable for the environment. So it says for light coverage, squeeze a pea-sized amount and apply in even layers with fingers, brush, or sponge. And it says for medium coverage, squeeze 2 pea-sized amounts and apply in even layers with a sponge or a brush. So if you want really light coverage, use fingers. I'm gonna go for more coverage, so I'm gonna probably use a brush on one side and then a sponge on the other side. And it says pro tip, start from the center and then blend outwards for an even application. The foundation said it has oil in it, and I already like moisturized my skin really well today. I want to give this foundation a chance to actually do well on my skin. So I am going to use a matte primer, but not necessarily a heavy duty matte primer like the Makeup Forever one that I usually use. I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty True Matte. To open it, you just screw off the top. All right, you can squeeze to get foundation out. So I'm gonna do 1 squeeze here. It's been like more like 2 squeezes. I didn't know exactly how much to use, but I'm gonna do this side with a brush. I noticed the smell right away. I think I definitely put on too much. It definitely has like an oily look to it. Foundation is not like a dead match for my skin tone, but I think it's really close, so I think it's a good match. Like off bat, I really don't like how oily it looks to me. You know what this reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the KVD, like where it's super like emollient. I don't want to be too judgmental. I do think that I put way too much, so I'm trying to like give it a chance, you know? I am gonna use a beauty blender on the other side and see if the coverage is any different. I'm gonna add a tiny little bit on this side. I think I would prefer how it applies with the sponge versus the brush. But also I did put like way too much on this side. I'm like pressing around the foundation just to kind of get off like any excess foundation that I have on. Foundation looks nice on camera. Like I'm looking at it, my skin looks, you know, kind of glowy and healthy. But in person, I just feel like I look oily. Maybe I should do one more layer, see how it looks, and then at the end, see how it looks when I set it with powder and everything. A small pump on each side, because I did put too much the first time anyway. You know what? I can see why a Danessa Myrick's foundation would look like this, because if you look at any of her work, like on Instagram, she does work on a lot of models, and you know, model makeup is very like no makeup, glossy skin, really cool eyeshadow looks. It's not usually very matte. It's very like skin-like. I feel like it's making me notice like these little bumps I have on my skin a little bit more. I feel like they're almost like a little bit more magnified, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable walking out of the house like this without setting it, because I feel like I look very greasy. I'm gonna add some concealer. Okay, so I applied the Pat McGrath concealer in the shade MD24, and I also went on top with the e.l.f. Camo concealer. So I did that in the bathroom without all these bright lights around me, and I feel like it doesn't look as greasy when I'm in regular lighting. So I feel like it does make my skin look radiant, but under these lights, it looks pretty greasy to me. But like in normal lighting, it doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna blend out my concealer. I feel like the concealer blends in really nicely to the foundation. Laugh lines and my chin. I'm gonna set my face with the translucent powder from One Size. Personally, like how it looks much better when it's set, because it takes some of that excess shine. Okay, so now that the foundation is set, I like the way that it looks on my skin a lot better. It doesn't look as greasy or oily. I feel like the powder took really well to the foundation. I put a good amount of powder, but it doesn't look cakey because of the type of foundation that it is, since it is so natural and like radiant finish. I feel like the powder sits really nicely on top of it. I'm gonna go finish my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and talk about my final thoughts. Okay guys, so I'm back and I finished the rest of my makeup. Now that I'm finished with my entire makeup, I feel like the foundation does look nice. I feel like it looks nice on camera. I feel like when I looked in the mirror, I also looked nice there too. I think that my first initial reaction to the foundation was just that it looked very oily, which threw me off. So I don't like how the foundation looks on like the first initial application, because it's just, I would never wear my foundation that way. Maybe that's what a serum foundation is like, because I've never had a serum foundation before, so maybe that's what it is supposed to look like, but my other lightweight foundations don't make me look that greasy or oily, so I'm really not fond of that. When I set it with powder, I feel like it looked a lot better. All of the excess shine went away because it is radiant, but on a person that already has oily skin and texture, it looked more greasy to me than it did radiant. But if you have dry skin, it probably will make you look super, super glowy. So I think that you would probably enjoy this foundation a lot if you have dry skin. Hyaluronic acid would definitely make this dry skin friendly. And if I actually had taken the time to look at the ingredients before I bought it, I probably would have said, oh, you know what? I'm just not gonna try this foundation, because if you're telling me there's oil in a foundation, you're already telling me that this foundation really isn't for me. And I mean, I just put this on, so I wouldn't know how this is gonna wear. I can update you guys in another video about how it wore on my skin, but I do not have high hopes for the longevity of this foundation. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I don't have high hopes for how this is gonna look after a few hours on my skin. I can just imagine that I'm gonna be looking like a hot, oily mess. But I do think that the foundation has good coverage, and I think that the shade 19G was a good match for me. So if you're somewhere around my skin complexion, I think that that would be a good shade for match for you as well. Basically, I think if you're an oily girl, you may not like this foundation. I think if you're a dry skin girl, this might be your new best friend. I actually think the foundation does what it says it's gonna do, but I guess I didn't expect the glow to be to that level. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the foundation. I hope my review was helpful to you guys. And if you guys have any questions about the foundation, please leave them down in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you did like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.